Hello, literature lovers. Today I want to discuss few historical writers that really made impact, starting with B.B. Lal, a very special, better known as an Indian archaeologist. He was the Director General of Archaeological Survey of India. So you can see from 1968 to 72, and has served as the Director of Indian Institute of Advanced Studies in Shimla. Lal also served on various UNESCO committees. He belongs to Jhansi. He was born in 1921, 2nd May. Got education from University of Allahabad. Has written many books, especially historicity of Mahabharata, evidence of literature, art, archaeology, and many more. He also received the prestigious Padam Bhushan. So you can feel how great his works are and how phenomenal he must be. Now, talking about the next historian, that is R.C. Majumdar. A very famous name. I don't know whether you are aware of the fact about R.C. Majumdar. The full name is Ramesh Chandra Majumdar. He was a historian and professor of Indian history, born in Bangladesh, but that was before independence, so can be categorized as India. He died in 1980, Calcutta, so we can say nationality is Indian. Talking about his education, it is in Calcutta University and Surendranath College, also in Presidency University. So very prestigious, very special in the way he portrayed the culture. So he can be considered one of the best historians. India, very famous. I'm sure you must be aware of his name. So I thought that these things should be part of documentation. So I thought to share them with you. So very special thing to be shared. Now talking about Shekhar Bandyopadhyay. Yes, Shekhar Bandyopadhyay, another very famous, very special name. He is a senior lecturer and head of history program, School of History, Philosophy, Political Science, International Relations, Victoria University of Wellington, New Zealand. Yes, he is there. It is situated there only, and very famous name. Talking about some of his traits, his books are very famous. You can list them, and list of books is very wide, very recognized, including From Plassey to Partition, Caste, Protest and Identity, Decolonization in South Asia. Very famous historian. Caste, Culture and Hegemony, Caste, Protest and Identity. The Hindi translations are also given. You can have a real glimpse of history using these books. Next, last but not the least, not to forget, Bipin Chandra. Bipin Chandra, very famous historian. He was an Indian Marxist historian, so he has some point related to it, specializing in economic and political history of modern India, and emeritus professor of modern history at Jawaharlal Nehru University, one of the most prestigious university in India, and he specialized on the Indian independence movement and is considered a leading scholar of Mahatma Gandhi. So, born in Kangra, died in 2014 Gurugram. So he was also part of the very famous movie Inqilab. He was also associated with Stanford University and University of Delhi. So very prestigious name. What next comes another very special one is Shri Nath Raghavan. Now, Srinath Raghavan, another very special historian. Srinath Raghavan is an Indian historian of contemporary history. He is a professor of history and international relations at Ashoka University and a senior fellow at Congress Endowment for Peace, educated in University of Madras. He was also an advisor. Next, talking about another very special one, that is Sanjeev Sanyal. Sanjeev Sanyal actually is an Indian economist. He is also an author. Currently, he is principal advisor, economic advisor in the Ministry of Defense in Government of India. So you can see a Rhodes Scholar and an Edenhauser Fellowship, and he was Deutsche Bank's Global Strategic and Managing Director till 2015. Right now, he is in government office, and you can talk about his excellence there. In fact, he was the advisor while 2010 he was the youngest global leader by Economic Forum that happened in Davos every year. Next, another very famous one that I haven't found a female here till now. Now we are looking for someone. Still. Next comes Anuj Dhar. He is an Indian author and former journalist. He was published several books around the locus of death of Subhash Chandra Bose that propounds conspiracy theories about his living for several years after the purported plane crash, thus contradicting the current scholarly consensus. He was educated in University of Delhi. He was born in Delhi. Professional wise, he is also an author. Great books: India's Biggest Cover-Up, Concordrum, and not to forget Your Prime Minister is Dead. That he was talking about the Shastri, the controversial death of Mr. Shastri, our Prime Minister, former Prime Minister. I hope you must have got a great idea about the great historians we have. Please go through it. I hope you will like it. Thanks.